Right, so I have returned once again to actually deliver another stream of JoJo Part 5 of Golden Wind. Good to go, we're good to go, we're good to go. So yes, I actually have returned to actually do another stream of JoJo Part 5 Golden Wind on this stream, actually coming for episode 13, I believe, of of JoJo Part 5 Golden Wind. And yes, I do apologize. I actually do apologize, I said the words correctly, for actually not being here beforehand. It's because I actually had a cold, like, after Christmas. It just happened randomly. I was like, oh crap. So yeah, literally after Christmas I was ill for like until practically today. So I'm actually kind of a lot better. So I thought, you know what, today I actually will do the episode I've actually missed of Part 5. And yeah, I mean, my throat is still recovering. So where we left off last, we actually kind of had the fight between Man the Mirror and Purple Haze, but not actually completely just yet. It's actually still kind of going on, and it's actually just so freaking cool, I must say. They've done so much, like, just like, oh yes lads, I'm so happy right now. I could cry right now. It's that kind of level of, yes, it's more JoJo, and it's actually just it's so better than I expected as well, because the manga's amazing, but the anime's just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. I don't understand what the hell's going on, but I'm loving it. In a sense that how they're adapting this. I'm just like, I can't understand it, but I'm just like, yes, just give me more of this. So yes, actually we'll probably see some more of that fight, and actually probably also end it, I believe. It also actually then ends the core itself. Actually probably then we'll head into more of narrative development as well after this point, I believe, actually. I believe, yes, it's actually after this point the narrative starts to develop again. So anyway, let's put on to actually gone live for JoJo Part 5 episode 13. There we go. So, gone live for episode 13 of JoJo Part 5 Golden Wind. Wow, there we go. My brain just stopped mid-sentence just now. I was like, wait a second, am I typing this correctly? My brain is still trying to recover. My brain's still trying to recover from that cold, that random cold I had. I don't know what the hell happened to me. I was like, oh, I'm randomly ill. Hello, what the hell's going on here? But now I'm better, so it's fine. So anyways, actually, enough talk of my Christmas. Let's actually get a show on the road. So in 3, 2, 1, let's actually start this thing absolutely now. He's so hot. Abakio is hot, but then anime Abakio is just like, boom, levels of hot. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh man, that strut though. That absolute strut. That was just like, that's what I needed for this year to end. Just seeing that, I'm so happy. Just that strut was amazing. Oh. Absolute JoJo walk-in there. The absolute JoJo walk-in. They even walk in swag. That's the problem. They live in swag and actually walk by swag. Oh man, I've been wanting to see this episode for ages, but the problem was, before this day I actually kind of sound like Batman, so it's one of those things that watching JoJo sound like Batman might be an experience to actually kind of listen to. So I thought, you know what, I'll come back when I don't sound like Batman. And today I actually kind of don't sound too much like Batman. And transitioned out of Batman. I've also, if anyone's noticed, actually kind of changed the screens again. So the orientation to where I'm actually sitting might have changed from last stream. So I have no idea actually whether or not I streamed with... Oh no, I did actually. I streamed Gone of Light with my new monitor. But I don't think it's actually streamed anime with my new monitor, so I might have changed everything around. But yeah, basically everything's changed again. I did say I would change it all again before the end of the year. God, he's so hot. Jesus. I want to scream, but I can't. My throat's still killing me. Okay, look, I've established this idea that it's against the law to hurt my husbands. You gotta stop doing this, anime. You gotta stop hurting my husbands. You do realise you don't piss off a Bacchio. Everyone knows that. The boy's been dragged into the mirror and he still looks so freaking cool. And you got fooled, boy. You just got fooled. I love him so much. I love him. I still can't get past how cool Moody Blues actually is, because Moody Blues is so freaking cool. It's like, hello, I love a boy. I love a boy. That boy being a Bacchio. Just in case. I love that. It's like, we're going to fail the mission, but more importantly, John was correct. I love him so much. He's so great. Honestly, you've got to stop hurting him. It's against the law, okay? You can't hurt a Bakio. You can't hurt anyone in the JoJo gang. Oh, that colour palette change, though. I must say, the colour palette changing is amazing. Hello, how's it going? I mean, theoretically speaking, when you think about it, the actual episode is actually quite cool because it kind of allows Fugo to actually kind of, in a way, win the battle, but through different ways and means. It's kind of cool. Because physically speaking, he still kind of wins the battle. Fugo kind of still wins the battle from different means. Oh. I mean, if anything, he's going to lose a load of blood and actually probably die from that. Also, remember this is actually the episode with I'm thankful for the snake line, which is actually just it's the most pinnacle part of JoJo. It's the most JoJo line in the universe. Happy New Year to you too. He's still bleeding. He's still bleeding. I mean, Purple Haze is actually quite disturbing, to be honest. I mean, he's more disturbing in the manga, don't get me wrong. He's like way more disturbing in the manga, but still. He's got a point. He does actually come up with the most insane ideas ever. Even for JoJo, it's like kind of insane. So it's just the whole thing of like, well, that's crazy, but it works. Also, keep on forgetting how much of like everyone's a blood fountain in Part 5 as well. Because every time I used to make the joke in the manga, everyone used to kind of be a blood fountain. That's why I made the joke of the fact that, well, if he doesn't die from the fact of someone killing him, he's going to die from blood loss because everyone's a blood fountain in Part 5. I mean, when you think about it, his arm is pretty screwed right now. I want to go give him a hug, okay? I'm gonna give him a hug. He's my boy. And there we go. That was Man the Mirror and Purple Haze's arc. Which, yeah, it's actually kind of one of my favourite ones of Part 5, I believe. I just really like it. I think it's actually really freaking cool. It's one of those ones that it kind of heightens the kind of horror aspect of this whole entire manga because, I said beforehand, I said beforehand that this part's kind of very. It's like if David Cronenberg kind of made a manga out of JoJo. That's what I'd imagine Part 5 to be. It's kind of very David Cronenberg, it's kind of very David Cronenberg, that kind of Fly era David Cronenberg. That's actually quite heavily body horror, and it's, I think this actual arc encapsulates our whole entire idea. It's very kind of body horror-esque. It's actually just really freaking cool because of it. I really love just kind of watching this arc because it's just full of body horror, and it's just one of those things that it's kind of very disturbing. Like, you kind of do get the idea that Purple Haze does represent a part of Fugo that's kind of very, in a way, then kind of he wants to repress it but can't in a way. It's actually a very interesting stand, and it was actually kind of neat that he was able to defeat the enemy from different ways and means. Like, in the end, it wasn't like as if it was taken away from him. Like, everyone kind of, in a way, helped. It's very much a team effort. But still, when you think about it, the overall kind of MVP of the whole entire fight, technically speaking, is actually Purple Haze. It's actually one of those things. It's actually kind of well done. It actually allowed Purple Haze actually kind of take on that less kind of destructive kind of aspect. Actually kind of become, after credit scenes, lads, I'll resume this sentence afterwards. Oh, is that who it is? Is that who I think it is? Is that him? Is it him? It's him. Oh man, it's actually, I know who it is, and oh, the fight is actually between him, one of the characters. Oh, it's beautiful. Between him and one of the characters is absolutely beautiful, that fight. I love it. It's also one of the more kind of, oh my god kind of fights. Like it's actually it's a break this week as well. It's a break this week. But yeah, as I say beforehand, it's one of those things that it allowed Purple Haze to actually become that less destructive kind of character in a way, and actually become someone who's kind of able to help in a way, because as you kind of learn from Fugo, it's a stand actually very hard to control, actually kind of then to use. It's very much seen that way. You kind of did see it last week. So one of those things actually kind of like this actual arc is kind of like a learning experience of Fugo, and actually kind of how to actually kind of overcome a lot of his flaws in a way. It's one of those things that these arcs do tend to actually kind of open up a lot of flaws with the characters that need to be kind of fixed. It's one of those things that Part 5 does that quite well. So you do get to see that over time actually kind of change for certain characters. It's one of those things actually very well done episode for that one reason. And yeah, it's just kind of, if this episode kind of feels more like JoJo, if you get what I mean. Hello. Like, what JoJo Part 5 has done quite often, as I said beforehand, it's kind of subverted what previous parts have actually kind of established. That whole entire notion of what you know JoJo to be. Thank you, and happy New Year to you too. And I actually hope I said the words correctly. Have an amazing year as well. Whew, there we go. My throat just gave out during that sentence. But yeah, Part 5 is always kind of subverted what previous parts always kind of established, and you kind of get the idea that, like, yeah, Part 5 is its own thing. But this part of the episode kind of felt very much like a JoJo episode. It kind of felt like you were watching a previous part. It actually does feel, it feels very much welcome into this part, if you get what I mean, because certainly if something tries to subvert its own kind of established genre and actually kind of then incorporate it back in, it can in theory feel jarring. But here it kind of feels like yeah, it's a very much a JoJo episode. It had that kind of like, oh my god, this is very much JoJo. The whole entire thing with the snake, it feels very JoJo, but it feels very welcome into this whole entire world because of the fact that this part subverts it, but also separates the whole entire part as a whole. So one of those things I actually quite like it. But also, the other thing to note is actually it's a Bakio's character as well. Bakio's character, besides being the most best boy ever, because he's just so beautiful, I love him so much, he's actually it's a learning experience for him as well, because he's kind of seen this character come into this whole entire, this group, kind of from nowhere. And actually, he has to kind of learn how to actually trust this person, in a way. And this episode kind of allows him to actually kind of see that maybe, yes, he actually is that person I can actually trust, because I do understand where he's coming from, because John is a character who's come from absolutely nowhere, in a way, and actually kind of like, who is this person? Can I trust this person? I trust one person already. Am I able to trust this person as well? It's one of those things I actually kind of like, that there's actually that one character actually has this notion for the whole entirety of the runtime. It's one of those things that's actually kind of nice that you actually kind of get to see that as time goes on, he's slowly growing accustomed to John's kind of way of thinking. It's not as if he's actually kind of gone, oh yeah, he's pretty cool, and that's actually how it's gone. No, as time went on, he's got to learn how John works, actually how well he actually can improve work in this group as well. It's actually one of those things that's actually very well done for that one reason. That the idea of how Bakio actually kind of learns to actually kind of enjoy the company of Giorno. So yeah, I mean, this part's crazy. This part is very crazy. I like the fact that this this episode actually kind of has the kind of blood fountain-esque nature of like Part 5 had in the manga. That's why I was kind of saying beforehand, the idea if he doesn't die from the fact that one character kills him, he's going to die from blood loss at least. So it's one of those things I actually kind of made that joke, because everyone is a blood fountain in Part 5, because everyone just bleeds all the time. It's one of those things you get to see that as time goes on. But yeah, I mean, it's such a great episode overall. I love it. So I believe we're actually heading into a major part of the storyline after this episode, I think, if I remember correctly. There's another part of the storyline actually kind of happens, actually a very crucial part. So yeah, Can't wait to actually kind of see that, but I believe it's actually after New Year's, well, after this week. So, until next episode of JoJo Part 5, I'll see you guys later. So, as always, if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream on Twitch, then do leave a follow on Twitch, because indeed, it's helped me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed it here on YouTube and you do want to leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed, it actually does help me quite a bit. If you have enjoyed it here on YouTube and you do want to stay a bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed, it actually does help me quite a bit. And also, after that whole entire point, I actually want to stay a bit longer after that whole entire point, and then do follow me on Twitter, because indeed, it's actually helped me quite a bit. On Twitter, actually, will then find when streams go live, and other streams I do as well. And also, if Twitter's not your thing, I do infer a Discord server as well. Discord server does actually tell you everything that's actually on Twitter as well. If you don't have a Twitter account, that's also there, so do please join that as well. But until next time, episode 14 of JoJo Part 5, I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.